Arc Raiders might be one of the most exciting games of 2025, and honestly, it could be Game of the Year contender. This year has already been stacked with Expedition 33, Hollow Knight Silksong, Split Fiction, Blueprints, and the new Mario Kart. Wait, how did that get there? I mean Sonic Racing Crossworlds. But 2025 isn't done yet. We still have Battlefield 6, Digimon Time Strangers, and Arc Raiders. Let's dive into why this game could be something really special. For those of you who don't know, Arc Raiders is an extraction shooter set in the same universe as the finals and developed by Embark Studios. You play as a raider who is trying to scavenge whatever they can find in the overworld, fight against the AI enemies known as the Arc, and choosing whether to team up or fight against other raiders. But unlike most extraction shooters, Arc Raiders is in third person, it focuses on the environment, and has a gorgeous retro sci-fi aesthetic to it. And this game drops October 30th, and I cannot be more excited. Arc Raiders has already had multiple tech tests. Players said that the game felt polished, and the reception has been fantastic. A lot of fun and ready to launch at the second tech test. Some players keep bringing up the fact that the game is not free to play, which I don't see a big issue with it, because if you put a barrier to entry with a $40 price tag, it's gonna make it harder for cheaters to just make a brand new account and come back into the game. The only real big debate on the game is its monetization, being the fact that there are multiple battle passes, and these battle passes don't have just cosmetics. They have consumables like energy shields, deployable cover, but the biggest thing is the fact that there are guns in the battle passes, which I'm not too huge of a fan of. But if they make it where you could unlock the ability to purchase guns from vendors by doing their missions, or you can craft it if you upgrade your weapons bench enough, then I could see there being a fine balance with it. But a great shooter lives and dies by its maps, and Arc Raiders maps are phenomenal. The maps in the tech test were huge, detailed, and packed with spots of chaotic firefights. Honestly, it's the kind of map design I wish Bungie had nailed with Marathon. Embark even dropped a trailer that was just ambient world and sound. No gameplay, just vibes. That's how confident they are in their game's atmosphere. And with the game being in third person, you really get to absorb the details of the world and see the crazy amount of effort they put into some of the animations, because when your character falls from a big height, you see them struggle to get up. And also when you get downed in a firefight, the character has some crazy and fun ragdoll physics that you wouldn't see normally in a first person extraction shooter. Now let's talk about the guns, and this is where Arc Raiders truly shines. Some of these weapons just look like that you found them, you found recycled parts and you just put duct tape on them and it somehow works. And what are your defenses in this game? Janky ass Halo-like shields that don't seem to be very reliable. And the best part of all this, there are no hit markers. This game uses sound to tell you what's going on. Combat feels immersive with sparks flying off of players when you hit their shields, and the shield generators make a noise when you destroy the shields. And you also see blood when you hit the targets. You always know how the fight is going on, even without floating health bars. And when finally someone goes down, a flare shoots up in the sky, and I don't know how I feel about the flares in the game, because it seems a little bit much when someone is down. But what they could do instead is when you are down, your character actually screams of pain, just like in Hunt Showdown, making it not so obvious from players when they're off in the distance. And the weapons follow what I call the Witcher sword approach. You have guns for players and you have guns for the Arc. SMGs in this game shreds the enemy shields, but they're not that useful against the Arc. You could use your high caliber weapons to destroy the Arc, and they will do a great amount of damage to enemy players, but those bullets are more expensive, so you have to think, do I use the more expensive bullets for PvP players, or do I save them for the Arc? And the game even makes it where when you miss, your shots look cool, because when your bullets hit a wall, it creates this cool smoke effect that you don't really see in other shooters. In the other shooters, when you hit the wall, it's just like a small ding and a small mark on the wall and nothing else. The only thing that really worried me when it came to PvP gameplay is the purple shields. In the second tech test, they were so powerful, making it really hard to kill players who had the purple shields. But Embark did say that they are tweaking the shields, but hopefully they tweak it enough where you could actually notice it, but not too much where players might be like, you know what, I'd rather just go with the blue shields and not take the heavier penalty to my movement speed. And my favorite part of this game isn't fighting the other players, it's the arc themselves. And the arc in this game are smart, unpredictable, and there's a wide variety of them. Just in the tech test alone, you have the face, what I like to call the face huggers. You have the fire breathing Roombas. You have the snitches that call upon help from nearby arcs. You have the rocketeers that just shoot hellfire on you when you're running away from them. And you have others that if I see them and I hear the loud screeches that they make when they're ready to fight at you, I'm just gonna run and I'm not even gonna bother fighting them. Embark uses machine learning to give them smart reactions, and it kind of gives me a nostalgic feel of the Halo Reach AI trailers they showed back in the day. Shoot a flyer's propeller and it's going to wobble and try its best to stabilize. Break a leg of a giant bison, it's going to limp towards you and still try and get to you. It feels realistic, unlike in some games where if you shoot the legs, it's just going to go on fire and still function properly, but you just can't do damage to it anymore. And some of the best moments in this game is when the arc don't wait for your fight with other players to finish. They come at you. One of the best memories I have in the tech test was when I was in a hospital fighting other teams, multiple teams, and this opening in the ceiling, a rocketeer flew down with so much aura and just turned to one of the teams and just started blasting them. I was panicking, my teammates were panicking, and we were all scattered, and it was such good chaotic fun. And another cool thing about the arc is that when you defeat them, you could actually grab some of their components that are not just valuable because you could sell them for good money, but they have utility. So some of them you could use it where you could regenerate your shields with them. You can throw the component to do some damage to enemy players, or I recently learned this, if you use certain parts, you actually become invisible to the arc for a certain period of time, which is crazy powerful. When you're in between raids, you are in Speranza, the hub city of arc raiders, where you get to repair your gear, get your missions, and buy supplies. And this is my only criticism of arc raiders, is that Speranza is nothing more than just menus to get to one vendor to another. Oh, you want to get weapons? Go to this vendor. You want to go get medical supplies and shields? Go to this vendor. You don't actually get to walk around this world, and it's not something that's going to be game breaking, but I would love if they could expand upon it so that it feels more immersive. If I want to find other players, I can walk around and be like, hey, I'm looking for somebody who wants to go on this map. Does anybody else want to go there? Or I want to fight the queen, who wants to join me? When you join a match without any friends, you are given a random player if you're not doing solo, and you might not be connected to somebody who wants to be a team player. They're just going to go off and do their own thing. This would be a way for you to actually find a team without having to go on a Discord, without waiting for your friends. And also it would be a cool way for them to implement some mini games that you can play with your friends while you're waiting for, let's say, a third to hop on. The only other concern I have with this game is that there's going to be no wipes, which are good and bad. It's good because for players who are unable to play the game all the time and have to take a long break, when they come back they're still going to have their gear, but for new players it's going to be more difficult for them. So what I would like to see them implement is a gear score system similar to Dark and Darker, where if you are playing with very basic gear, you have a very low gear score, but as soon as you equip anything, you get a higher gear score, and then at that point you'll be paired up with players who are actually, kitted. So it makes it easier for people that are new to the game and not get their asses kicked by somebody with, let's say, purple shields and some of the best weapons. Overall, Arc Raiders has everything it needs to succeed. It's polished, has amazing gameplay, amazing atmosphere and enemy design, and a world that feels lived in. Sure, there are some questions about monetization and long-term balance, but no amount of terrible IGN previews can ruin the excitement that people have for this game. With the right post-launch content and balancing changes done when needed, Arc Raiders can be an absolute titan. But that's what I gotta say about this breakdown. What sort of stuff do you guys want to see in Arc Raiders, and are you excited for it as much as I am? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more gaming content like this, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.